and PQR is starting to accumulate highways.
Hey, can you
So
hear me now?
I can hear you again.
Okay, great. I am
Much better.
recording now,
Okay,
and
great.
you are coming through on the recording. I had to do all
That's
that
great.
weird stuff to make that work, but
Yeah, I can get. So yeah, um,
so
we have
yeah,
lots and lots of highway. But
double jack as a start doesn't seem too unreasonable. I definitely don't want to like play double jack, but um, it seems like an okay place to start with, and then you can probably kill a jack to a jack at some point when you don't want more silvers and you've gotten rid of your states.
yeah, it seems like PQR is just trying to build this like thinnish. I mean, it's not really thin, thinnish deck with ventures and platinums, and yeah, I mean, a bunch of silvers as well.
I mean, this
Um,
Kingdom, the problem is if you could get thin without having to add silvers, I really like Venture. Um,
mm,
but it just feel like it's gonna turn into a gold too much of just flipping a silver, which isn't terrible, but you know, it's not. It doesn't inspire me.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sold on venture, even if you don't have to put 1,000 silvers into your deck by playing
Yeah,
jacks.
I agree with Hippie Six that letting your opponent have 10 highways seems potentially very dangerous, even on a board with such limited plus buy. You know, some king courts,
Yes,
some highways, and some trade
yeah,
routes, and
yeah.
you can make it happen.
Yeah, we already saw the first King's Court for PQR.
Yep.
Kind of feel like you want to add embassy maybe, and then
Uh,
just highway and King's Court seems not like big draw.
yeah. Five cost peddlers are the worst thing you can do here. Yeah, I mean, I expect you're going to be kicking off turns by kinging a highway just so you have actions. And yes,
Mm,
that was pretty bizarre. I thought that the correct move was to trade route the jack there. But yeah, embassy's still untouched. I mean, it is the best draw on the board. And you get to junk your opponent with a silver.
yeah, that's strange. Yeah, I mean, maybe maybe Searingspear doesn't have too much to say against extra silvers, but um, yeah, I don't think the silvers are particularly great if you want to hit colonies. Um, yeah, it's a very weird uh, what's it, board constellation here right now.
Um, yeah, I mean, I definitely would be using loan to kill off the silvers that I got from Jack, but I'm not sure why we want to keep Jack around either.
Yeah, but then why did you buy two jacks in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I want one Jack at the start to kill my estates and give me some economy so I can
Yeah,
buy, some of these nice cards. Like, here you can King's Court this trader out and clean up a decent amount.
yeah. Like I would guess if you want to play this in a more money kind of fashion, something like one jack and then one embassy looks better than a deck with two jacks
Yeah.
because the extra silvers don't help you to colony all that much.
Yeah, silver. I mean, we talk a lot about like, oh, silver's a bad card for your deck, or whatever. Like, I don't want silvers. Something's always better than silver. But in colony games, it really shines like just how bad silver is because it's just so far away from hitting the price point you need to when you have a deck full of silvers. Right? Like even if you draw five silvers, that's not a colony.
So like this shuffle, I would guess the Searingspear is going for colony, and yeah, that's the case.
Okay, so
Which is quite fine.
unfortunately doesn't line up King's Court with Highway to get some actions going. So can play this Kinged Embassy, but I mean it doesn't do a ton without any plus buy.
Yeah, I guess it just cycled to the end anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Cycle and maybe you get a trash in. Yeah, it sets up. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's still
Exactly. Maybe you can
nice.
just discard this. You can discard this ugly copper
Yep.
probably, and then
Discard and kill it with loam.
yeah, or you still have one on top.
Okay, looking like a good start of a turn here. Kingscourt Highway was a nice way to get started. Okay, now we're cooking with a little bit of
I guess
fire.
I would need extra gain, so
Yeah,
um,
we really need to Kingscourt a trade route here.
I'm not sure who
No,
has
I
the.
I
Oh,
don't
there's the trade book. Okay.
I don't like playing that. That was your last Kingscourt. Um, I don't think. Actually, wait, no, he has a fourth one. Okay, I still think you gotta King's Court the trader out there just because you want those buys so badly and you want to get rid of all these
Yeah,
ugly yellow cards.
yeah, absolutely. Kingscourt Embassy makes sense, I suppose. Don't want
But
to end up.
really, really good starting hand here from PQR. You always love to see King's Court, and then something that inspires joy.
Though they still need to draw something else, but
Yes.
we'll see if that happens.
So the awkward thing is you want to buy more highways than King's Courts, but you're also going to have to buy more trade routes, and you need stuff to feed them too. But if your opponent buys Embassy, they're giving you some food, so that's good. Oh, you really don't want to find Jack here. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, this is not what you want to see. Definitely. Can King a Jack for more trade route food? Not really,
Um,
but it's still
yeah,
happening.
I mean, that's a lot of silver, but it means you can keep having a turn, so that's a good plan.
Yeah, I mean you can still King the Embassy here, and then
Yep, and then
King again.
you can king. I mean, you're off to the races now. Just king everything. And
Which
yeah,
would be a bit,
king trade route is gonna clean up those silvers plenty fine.
yeah. Okay. I was thinking maybe they end up with a couple of silvers on top of the deck, but they still have enough highways. And yeah, 9 silvers though. That's a lot of silver.
That is a
Um,
lot of silver when you really just want to be buying things that right now don't cost very much. Oh, okay, they are going to green rather than building a little further. Uh,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean
I would
it's
have liked to see.
uh,
I would have liked to continue building a bit. I'm not. Searingspear's deck isn't threatening to take a bunch of colonies too quickly.
yeah.
He's
But the
taking.
problem is maybe they are just afraid to kick off again. So you see
Yeah,
this hand. I mean, okay, they also just added lots of silvers again, and uh, but uh, it's working out. It's working out just fine.
yep. Looking good so far. Yes, this should win.
Yeah, this should just be enough for 3 colonies. So I mean, maybe just taking the 2 colonies was just fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would have personally tried to build towards a 4 or 5 colony turn, but sometimes you gotta do it in 2 steps. Okay, now they're just showing off. Trashing a King's Court.
So that's 1 for PQR, and they were going second. So
So, uh, you know, the
right
engine,
in the beginning.
and the engine prevailed, right? Like money didn't win, evil money didn't win against our protagonist, the engine player.
So UKR chooses Menagerie.
Menagerie
So
Intrigue. Interesting.
so personally, I was always choosing Menagerie in all of my games, just to have more practice.
I
And
tried to get a game with Menagerie and Renaissance uh, in every one of my sets. If my
oh yeah, that
opponent
was
picked one of
pretty
them,
popular.
if my
That was
opponent
pretty
picked one
popular.
of them, I would pick the other. I just think it's such a fun. Games are like 9 turns. It's just wild stuff.
Yeah, we have quite something going on here, I would say.
Okay, so Cav is on the board. That's obviously pretty dominant. Mask is here. Bounty Hunter's here. Supplies is here. Are we playing some kind of draw to X with Hunting Lodge? Or. I mean, you have a lot of really powerful cards here. Like, pretty much every
Mm,
card on the board looks good. Uh,
yeah,
I guess
that's no joke at all.
Shantytown isn't the best, but it is still a village, and it, yeah. So there's no draw besides, well, there's no like great draw. There's plenty of good draw.
I mean, draw is still fine.
Yeah,
Still fine
right.
draw,
You've
I
got
would say.
Menagerie,
You
you've got
can,
Cavalry. Um,
yeah.
you
You
don't
also
have.
have something to do with your cavalry, or after you got it with upgrade and replace stuff that you can do. Looks
Oh
all
yeah, good
pretty good.
point, Hippie Six. So yeah, Ox exists. So there's no reason you should ever touch Shantytown probably unless you're opening it.
So PQR opened Mask and Cavalry,
I like
and
that
now they
opening.
have land.
So why the cavalry open? Because it pushes you a little deeper into it. Like gets your shuffles going a little bit, and early on it can be really valuable to have those horses. Um, a
Yeah,
lot
also
of I see a
it's just
lot of
nice to
strong
see the
players like opening cavalry, and then if you get something like a 2 draw, you can even pick up a supplies. But yeah, I mean, over Bounty Hunter, it's
yeah, that's a
certainly a
tough one.
decision. But
Yeah, I mean it's also just always great to have cavalry with your trashing. So I mean Mask is also, it's a little bit more than just trashing, but it's always feeling so great if you can trash something turn two.
yeah, exactly. Like
And it's
if
also just
if you're
great to
able
draw
to
the cavalry right away.
yeah, if you're able to do any sort of play of a turn one um, buy on turn two, that's just almost always a really strong opening. Obviously, if you can get an estate out of your deck before turn three, that's just like great.
Yeah,
Um,
it's always tempting on 3-4, I would say.
mhm. um, so they are probably going for something with Hunting Lodge. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's my first five. I kind of wanted upgrade first.
Yeah. Searingspear already has Mask and Bounty Hunter, so they have enough stuff to take care of the estates. So maybe that's the reason you don't get upgrade earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Um, it opens up some fun possibilities with trashing things into cavalries too.
Yeah, indeed. Like horse into more cavalry
Yeah,
sounds fun.
exactly. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to do on this board. You uh,
This is just like a
but
really nice board. The only
whatever.
attack is very mild.
Yeah,
Um,
there's so much synergies all around. I mean, it's really interesting which path you choose here.
yeah, I agree. Another thing worth considering is you don't really have to build to hit five because there's bargain. So hitting 4 is perfectly fine. I'm happy to give my opponent a horse to get one of those good 5 cards.
Yeah, the fives are looking really good. But I mean, the fours are also really good. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So both are going for replace, which makes sense since the only thing that we are really lacking here is real plus buy.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? No.
Well, you've got Courtier, but
Oh yeah.
you don't really have anything to proc it off. And by really, I mean you literally have nothing that has more than one type. Uh, so it is. Oh, right. Replaces
Just
an
replace
attack.
though. Replace
Yes.
the net, right?
Yes. Yes. Replaces a dual type.
So you have at least two types.
Yeah. So there is a dual type. So we can use that for some plus buy. Turn a copper into a supply seems like a pretty good deal to me.
But I mean, it's not shining, right? Cotia is not shining here.
Yeah. It's it's gonna. I mean, in a hunting lodge deck, it's nice because it can be virtual money. If you can line it up with replace, you can get potentially coin buy, replace something, play a hunting lodge, discard the. So there's some synergy there, but you're not getting Courtier anywhere near its full potential.
Even though I have to say, Hunting Lodge is sometimes a really, really sad card if you're going for the draw to X stuff, because usually you draw the card that you really want to play
Yeah.
just with a third card, and then you're wondering, okay, do I want to discard here or not?
Someone was arguing whether that the card might be better if if it didn't have the +1 card, if it just said, like, you may discard your hand for 5 cards, which I don't think it would be, but like you wouldn't get that feels bad of like, oh, I just drew my bridge off of it. No.
Yeah, probably Donald. It's all a secret plot by Donald to make it worse. There was a really nice cavalry here.
Yeah. Not sure I would have tossed that hand so quickly, but looks like they got back around. RTT says should have been choose one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of like choose one mode. That seems
PQR
pretty
is
nice
really
to me.
PQR is really spinning the cavalry wheels here.
As one typically does when cavalry is on the board.
And we have the Ox to make cavalry a little bit better.
Yeah, so, you know, with Ox, I'm really not afraid to add too many calves to my deck.
Yeah, the second replace looks pretty good.
So this is probably horse to okay, to hunting lodge. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean they barely drew, but did they really? I mean, yeah, they had quite a bit of overdraw, but I guess with that extra replace, just another hunting lodge makes some sense.
Yeah. Plus, some of that overdraw was coming from the fact they were buying calves mid-turn, so
Yeah,
they didn't quite draw their deck like unassisted.
yeah. Like if not that much would be going on here, I would so tempted to buy to build some supplies conspirator thing, but obviously there's so much better going on here.
Yeah, I think that's just too slow.
At least we saw some conspirators, by the way.
But Conspirator does look like a nice card on this board. and it is with Ox and other stuff like that. It's pretty easy to keep them activated.
Mm. Basically, Grand Market.
Yeah, without the buy. Um, so this is probably copper to supplies. Draw it up. Put some horses on top of
Yeah,
that deck.
it's a nice little deck that Searingspear has, but it appears they are still very far behind now.
Yeah. They have deck control, but they don't quite have as much payload or village support as PQR does. I think I like PQR's position. And they're very vulnerable to mask attacks
Yeah,
right now.
PQR just basically has more of everything
Yeah, pretty
except
much.
except the two conspirators. So I guess now we see another cavalry being bought.
So there's stuff like
So
replacing a cavalry to a cavalry.
yeah, or something like that. It's also possible.
Okay, just going straight for the cav.
Putting that horse on top.
Yeah, that's always a fun synergy with cavalry and supplies. You can play the supplies, buy the cav, and immediately get that horse.
So Searing Spear actually played against me in the preliminaries, and they got a clean sweep against me. So, um, I don't know who to root for today.
I think I
I'm
always root
hoping
for the
for the
player who
rematch, or
beats me
if I'm
because then
just
that raises my stock, right? It's like, well, H roll beat me, but like, look now, look how good H roll is. So
yeah, they can win for a group, for the Hinterlands group. Or Searing Spear, so
yeah,
looks
H
like we are
roll.
on
I
the way
was
to the.
just using you as an example because I remember we played in Whelp and I had no idea who you were and you screwed me up. And then I was like, oh man, let's go H roll, beat more people. Well, I was rooting for you. Alright,
Which
so the
tournament are
Cavs
you
are
referring
starting to
to?
run low.
Which tournament are you referring to?
Oh, Whelp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that looked very, very interesting.
It was a fun
It was
tournament.
a fun one. Yeah.
So, Searing Spear, their deck's not bad, right? It has a lot of good things in it. They just seem like a turn or two behind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I basically what I meant with PQR. Just has more of everything.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little deck over there, but
Needs some payload. Right now, it's doing a lot of spinning.
yeah, that too.
Okay, gets the
Yeah,
second replace.
I guess here's the second replace. Yeah, yeah. So I guess now replace cavalry into another conspirator, maybe.
I mean, I think we're replacing the estate.
Oh, That's a good point.
Another
I thought
conspirator seems fine.
you wanted to keep up that points lead.
Oh yeah, I mean it's 3 to -1 right now, so Searingspear is destroying.
Actually, they're doing both.
Okay, so they do keep the estate around. Um, Maybe they're worried about mass kitting again. I mean,
Not
usually
play that
you
last.
know you just end up
They did
passing a
play that
horse.
last replace. They did not play that last replace. I don't understand that. I have to say.
Yeah, same.
Were there other actions, or were they just afraid to not draw again without having more horses?
Yeah. Well, now they get to give away that estate. So,
There goes your points lead. I mean, it's still a points lead because PQR has a curse. And um, actually, why does Searingspear has? Oh, they have Bounty Hunter and they exile two of the estates. Okay,
yo,
this is where the points come from.
good old
Oh,
exile, confusing everyone.
I think there was also a bargain bought in the early game by Searingspear. Oh, it was by PQR actually. I mean, I just confused bargain with
Banish.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we get the Courtier. Um, Definitely, I think it's time to add to the deck, right? Start actually generating some payload, really ramp up. And Courtier and Replace go together in two different ways. One is which Courtier procs Replace,
Mm,
and the other way is that Replace can turn those golds you get from Courtier into nice juicy
hmm.
provinces.
Yeah, yeah. RDT is mentioning too much. There's payload missing in the decks, and yeah, we've been talking about that. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
there's cavalry can be a trap, not in that it's bad, but that it can be so much fun to spin. You forget to build a good deck. You just keep going round and round. So you can do like supplies to Cav right now to get another buy. Okay, cool, they do.
So how much money is PQR generating? I mean, they hit 5, right? So yeah, they have uh, 3 supplies and 2 copper, so that's their money at that point. Now they have the Cordier as well. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you'd probably replace this horse to a cavalry just to cut your opponent off.
maybe the cavalry will be happening later.
Yeah.
So yeah, both are still having those masks in the deck. So mask can be a kind of a threat at this stage.
Yes, they're very trashed. So,
I mean,
especially Searing Spear. PQR still has some coppers floating around, but
but I mean, I guess if you pass a horse, it's
it's not that big
all
a
right.
deal. Yeah, I mean, I expect that if they keep their mass and keep playing them into the later part of this game, they're just going to be passing horses to each other because they're always going to have them on top from
Mm,
supplies. So Exile's a cav, presumably is going to buy another cav and drop that
yeah,
guy
that
out of
needs to
exile.
find.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they do have 1 copper left. Okay. Yeah. So this will be a nice mass kit.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you get a horse. That's fine.
Who doesn't want a free horse?
Yeah. on the other hand, you don't then. So,
Hitting 8, what's that? I don't know anything about like trying to buy provinces, man. I'm
I
just
mean,
trying to get lots of cavalries and go back to my
yeah,
action phase.
I was thinking 8-4 double conspirator here.
Double conspirator
Oops, and
seems a
province.
lot better than
Hmm.
province. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
it's
understand the
too early to
province here.
green. There's a pile out, sure, but like there's almost no risk of like the game ending on the next turn or two. Like
I mean, they have how
replace
many
cons
resources
can
do they have PQR? Is it three? So, I mean, with a good draw, I suppose you can have like replace stuff going on, but then I don't think the buys are there. Without cavalries, they only have one courtier in the deck.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a little bit premature.
but um, I don't know. Each roll's of the opinion that Searingspear is in a bind and just needs to green. Um,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Conspirators, Courtier, maybe a 3 cost or something. Um, Seems reasonable. You could also do something like bargain for Courtier and then grab a Conspirator.
yeah. I mean, the extra horse. It's not like will help your opponent to draw the deck they wouldn't draw otherwise. So,
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I really like bargain in the later parts of the game. Certainly, it's great in the open when often there's a 5 cost you're totally willing to give your opponent a horse for. But if both players already
mm,
have deck control, it's just like, yeah, I will buy something for 4 and give them a horse that doesn't matter.
mm. By the way, stuff that is also good late in the game. I was thinking about Bounty Hunter here
Mm-hmm.
for PQR. Um, Maybe they want that once they start buying some green cards.
Yeah.
Especially if you draw to X, feels like you want to get rid of those provinces again.
Yep. Bounty Hunter plays great with Hunting Lodge, not just to get rid of green, but also just to exile random cards so that you can
Yeah,
reduce your
exactly.
hand size.
Hmm.
Um, and get some money out of it and then grab them back out of exile. Right, like you can always exile a horse, um, and then you'll be getting that horse back real quick.
Yeah, I have to admit, I really don't like this province buy. It feels like slow resigning to me. I have to say.
So here, do we take another supplies? Another mask? Looks like
Yeah.
it
I
goes with the
mean,
mask.
I guess you just take the mask because Shantytown is also just like Way of the Orcs at this point. So
Yeah,
you
there's no reason to
can
ever
play.
touch Shantytown. Well, like someone said, you could buy it in the opening, right? Like if you were gonna open with like let's say Bounty Hunter Shanty, then it's a guaranteed lost city. But or more accurately, a guaranteed lab.
Lab or
Yeah.
and then I I love I love early Shantytowns.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of opening it. It's
Yeah,
great when
me too.
you don't have many actions in your deck, which is a very strange thing for a village.
Yeah, indeed. Not like the thing you want to in a deck with a village.
Okay,
Oh,
so let's see. This is
that's duck.
unfortunate hand here for Searingspear. What can they bounty hunt? If you hunt a cav, you can't get them out of exile. Curse is worth money. I know you want to pass that curse, but you don't have one in exile right now. That might be a
Mm,
move. Oh, Ox is the bounty hunter. Interesting. And the Cav.
yeah, I guess we see. just some place here. Probably replace the cavalry into another hunting lodge, maybe, or
Okay, they are. Yeah, this seems kind of slow, resigny. Like these curses and estates, I don't like. Oh
mm,
well,
well,
PQR
never mind.
also kind of duds. So
Yeah, at least they should kick off with 2 horses next turn.
yep.
So Searingspear. We were missing the hunting lodge's last turn, so maybe this horse can help.
There's the hunting lodge, but it's not exactly when you want to see it. It's probably gonna
Mm.
have. Oh, yep. You can. I forgot about Ox again. You can Ox, then you can play your conspirators.
And thankfully, Conspirator has this strange wording that benefits from playing horses.
Yep. It's not in play. It's, I believe, the only card that counts actions you played this turn, rather
Mm.
than like actions in play or cards in play.
So, what are you playing for as Searing Spear here?
Um,
Do you try to just kill the piles?
I mean, how feasible is it to try to pile out on, estates and supplies here or something?
Yeah, still uh, not happening this turn.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, R. Silverstein. That order felt a little funky. I think you wanted to do some more stuff before you did the discard to Hunting Lodge.
Yeah, I mean, they have to pay for it with this hand, which is it's not really inspiring for replace.
Okay, Cav to gold. Courtier
Yeah,
seems almost strictly better than gold.
yeah, but I mean, for this turn, yeah, probably even for this turn, they had enough actions. That's a good point. They could have stopped that hunting lodge. I don't know what the discard looked like at that stage.
Okay, it's gonna be a good mask.
That's going to be a really good mask. We have even potential for 2 masks here. But then you should have kept the curse for the first pass.
Yeah, I think the second mask is gonna be an Ox.
Mm.
Oh, that seems weird not to Ox. I would Ox the mask, then play Courtier on replace.
Yeah, now they're playing the master. That seems like a clear mistake, but at least they had to draw the other curse, so yeah, this is the issue with hunting lodge we were talking about, right? Now you draw that conspirator you would like to play. You will also have the two actions you would like to play replace, but you can't
Yep.
if you want to keep going. Just province here. Yeah, suppose PQR is
So I
a
mean,
little bit
if
afraid.
if PQR doubles here, then I mean, sorry, if Searingspear doubles here, then I think PQR can still just pretty easily win. Um,
Um, is there double potential for Searingspear? Okay, they have the gold. Do
replace
they
a
have 8
gold.
points protect?
Yeah, that's a good point. They might not. I figured they did between conspirators and um, displacing. I'm not displacing. Bounty hunting something.
Mm. Oh,
Okay, so they can
now
pick
we
up.
can fight back with Mask here.
Yep, Masquerade is of course an attack.
Yes, of course. Oh, of course not. Neither is possession.
Yep.
So,
And here it would really be nice if Mask was an attack, so then you could proc Courtier more easily.
whoa, why?
What
We
are
all
we
wanted to see
doing?
the map.
Okay, we don't want to attack with Mask. We're nice guys.
So yeah, we have $8 already. So did we already see the gold, or is it still down there? The gold is still down here.
Let's look. Yeah, the gold is still down there. I don't know, our Silverstein. This is like a very good question. Why didn't we play Mask and get rid of a curse
Yeah,
and probably pick up something nice off our opponent who played a bunch of
I was so
supplies
hoping
last turn?
I was so hoping for that mask play. I wanted to see it, but just play the horse. You want to find the gold, right?
Yeah, you need to find the gold. You're not replacing the horse into something. Come on.
Yeah, that's or seriously, that's what we are talking about. So we are, if Searingspear can draw the gold, it's double province, and don't really understand why cavalry first here.
What?
What?
No. What are we doing? Why? I mean,
Mm, were
the,
they afraid of some? I don't know what they were afraid of.
yeah, doubling there seemed very winning. And this right here feels pretty losing.
Mm. Yeah, like somehow this slow resigning that we were talking about somehow panned out for Searingspear.
Yeah, I really think we underrated his position. Um, he was a lot slower to add payload into his deck, but his deck was thinner, and it came together and was able to rush points fairly effectively.
Mm.
What do you even do here? You can't turn supplies into duchies. And piles are so low.
So I mean, the good thing here is Searingspear can potentially still double. So taking one province is really unsafe here.
Yep. Yeah, that's okay. They are
And
going for it. I mean, I'm not sure you have any other options.
So the bad thing for
But
Searingspear
now,
though is they
two
need to
replace
draw.
plays will just end the game.
Mm, yeah, that's true. I was thinking they need to dig through all of the deck to connect the replace and the gold, but that's not the case. So just milling provinces is fine.
Yeah, you don't even have to mill provinces. Just turn two things um, into victory cards. Yeah, like this is a win in hand. Let's see if they see it.
Is it?
Replace estate to estate, replace cav to estate. That's it.
Oh, oh yeah,
Uh,
right. The curses. They also run out. Yeah, of course.
yeah, you could also do to duchy and then use the money to buy the last estate. It doesn't matter. I think this wins too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so good stuff to Searingspear for seeing that win.
yeah. Nicely done. Nicely done to pull that out. We were all seeing him on the losing track here.
All right, so we're 1-1. Let's see what sets we're gonna get next. I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, good idea. So we have guilds and renaissance here.
I have returned. Okay, so we have guilds and Ren. Yep.
Yes, and actually three cards at least. Yeah, three cards from the small set with Butcher, Merchant Guild, and Soothsayer, and at least one of the power cards from guilds. Even though I'm not sure how much play it will see at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Um, so there's no village except for Citadel, and
Yeah,
then there's
so
no cantrip even except for Seer. I mean, I guess village. I guess
I mean,
research.
Action Group is a village though.
Oh, acting troop is a village. Very true. Very true.
So
Very
I
true.
guess this looks like some Seer inventor thing.
Yep.
I think I rolled this in one of my games as well. I mean, obviously Seer and Inventor are in the same set, so. And actually, by the way that we're talking, I also played with guilds. I played guilds, Renaissance as well, with Inventor and Seer, and we also had draw in or extra villages in Herald. But I guess the drawing part will be, yeah, still not an issue. I guess the village part will be a little bit awkward with acting troops.
Yeah. There's some really interesting stuff where you can place a certain number of inventors to make Seer kind of draw everything, and not too many inventors, which can be a little tricky, but acting troop can make
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a lot easier.
Okay. Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, I think Butcher's first five makes a lot of sense. That's definitely what I'm opening on 5-2. For
Yeah.
sure. But Inventor does look like it's probably the most central card to the game plan here. I think you're going to be trying to play a lot of Inventors and win that way.
We also saw an improve.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
improves
we
good.
also have Scepter,
You could
so I guess Scepter is also your village to go here. I mean, no. It's not a village, but
It's a weird thing.
it's definitely a card, you know.
Yeah, it's one of the strangest throne rooms. Very very weird card, but certainly
We
quite
actually
powerful.
we actually have the Scepter Pro in the chat here with H roll.
Oh yeah, Troll loves his scepters.
If you saw that, if you saw his video.
Yeah, I saw it. It was great. I'm a big fan of the H roll Impractical Dominion combo series.
Yeah, that's very the best. So yeah, there's the first.
I mean, I want a lot of Seers, and I probably only want one Butcher, but I still think I open Butcher. Like, I think Butcher's my first 5. But
Yeah.
I could see it. Like, you don't need to trash your estates as much because of Seer. That is the thing.
Yeah, I guess just butcher estates into action cards is still great. Whatever that action cards may be, but
Yeah, Priest will get you clean, certainly, as well as Butcher.
I guess butcher also helps to hit Citadel.
It helps to hit Citadel with the smoothing, and also once you've played enough inventors, you could potentially turn something into. Can use this as a gainer of sorts.
Yeah, even though I can just play another inventor in that case.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. That doesn't really do anything. Yeah, maybe Butcher isn't that important on this board, but I don't know. Butcher's one of those cards I almost never skip.
Yeah, I can see it on 4-3 and 3-4. I mean, on the opening, sure, butcher. I guess I still play with 1. If I don't have 5 on the opening.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm still so bad with Renaissance actually. So what do I know? I mean, these two are in the semifinals for a reason because they are a lot better than I at least. So more
Yep.
power to them.
So here you can improve into like an inventor, and it actually does generate coins that you can't use. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely. They both need more draw. Ooh, that's the butcher. Not so sure about that here.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting behind this just by Seer line of thinking.
Yeah, like they. I don't know. It feels kind of wrong.
Yeah. It's tricky because, Seer is such a card that you're used to just getting. Same with Butcher. Like, they're both cards I just want in my deck almost all the time. So how to balance them here with Inventor as well is pretty tricky. So Searingspear gets a nice Silos hit there. And no problem, H-Roll. Keep making them because they're really fun. So here we get to make some money with Priest. That's always exciting.
Yeah, that's always.
But yes, this is unfortunately not 8. Probably another Seer?
Yeah, I would guess so.
Okay. Scepter, okay. I mean, Scepter and Inventor certainly is powerful, right? Like,
yeah,
cost reduction and Thrones, they go well together.
Yeah, but they still have only 1 seer, right? I think you want to draw, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, this is just gambling here.
I don't think you want to add that scepter until you have better deck control.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. But they already got it. Why didn't they play on uh with Seer here? Don't understand why Inventor. Oh, I got it. Okay, Inventor before Seer to draw more. Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, that's sort of the thing where you want to have the
Yeah.
right number of inventors in play for your seer so that you can maximize the draw.
And then they revealed three coppers. So that didn't really pan out, but can even invent for another Seer if that's what they want. Oh, actually Butcher.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean you want to get rid of the coppers, right? Probably maybe that reveal of three coppers made them think about trashing coppers.
Yeah, I definitely want those coppers out of my deck.
Yeah, that's what Intro mentioned. They could have bought Seer. They could have invented for Seer and then bought Acting Troop.
Mm-hmm.
So they chose to have one less copper for for one less Seer in their deck. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
not like great trade-off.
not sure how I like that calculus.
By the way, still no one hit 8.
Yes, we still have not seen Citadel. I know they both want it.
Mm,
I mean, I think one of the main things I would be doing is sort of saving up my coffers here so that I can hit Citadel.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that cost reduction helps you to do that. So problem is the cost reduction doesn't help you to hit
Events
project.
or projects, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they discarded four coppers and then they drew four coppers. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Wow. Yeah. Definitely got to kill some of these coppers.
It's hilarious that in a way that I, as Searingspear, would write into my keyboard. But I guess, yeah, I think that were all that coppers, right? I mean, what's left in Searingspear's deck? I suppose it's one more Seer and the Scepter.
Yep. And then that discard is just full of copper.
Yeah, it's really really awkward.
So yeah, they have to be very careful. I mean, I don't think like you have to play a seer, I think, but it's very awkward for sure. Yeah, this is Citadel for sure. Okay, so we got some gain and play going on.
Ooh.
just pretend that
I
didn't
hope
happen.
no one lost their lost their ears or
Headphone
something.
alert.
Am I miscounting something? Is the last card in PQR's deck another inventor? I was thinking Searingspear has only one.
Let me check. Searingspear has 2.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Then I was thinking the last cards of Searingspear's deck are Seer and Scepter, but then it's probably Inventor and Scepter.
yeah. I don't really get the Merchant Guild. Merchant
Mm,
Guild, I mean, you really don't, like, need plus buy here
yeah,
that badly. Because you're just inventing and butchering stuff.
yeah,
Um, and it's not like you're going to have a big stack of Merchant Guilds to do stuff.
yeah. And you're also not buying stuff; you're just gaining stuff here, right? I would think. I would think.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing most. You're gaining most of your cards. You're not really buying them, so you're not going to be able to stack up the coffers. I mean, there is something to be said for like it does give you coffers, which then you can use with Butcher. No, priest first.
So this, by the way, is now my biggest fear that is happening with all these villager kind of decks that we are building.
You build,
So
and
now
then the
the
acting
troops
troops
are out.
just run out, and you have the
Yeah,
potential to just all of a sudden have a ton of terminals in your deck and no
yeah,
way out.
can't play any of those.
Searingspear really needs Citadel because they do not have troops. Well, I mean, they do, but they have 3
Hmm.
villagers and troops are out. I would not spend any of these coffers. I'm trying to hold them. I really want Citadel. Uh, can they take 6 provinces this turn? I don't know. So we want to find priests before we pop these troops for sure. They can definitely invent on Butcher for a lot of stuff, but it remains to be seen if. So here we get that amazing Inventor Seer
Hmm.
synergy where Seer just draws your whole deck because everything
Yeah.
costs 4.
Yeah. I never know in these kinds of decks how aggressively you want to go for inventors. I mean, of course you want to play a lot of inventors, but um, so
No, order, priest first.
yeah, indeed.
Okay,
Oh,
well, I guess if you're planning on just killing the priest, then sure, it doesn't matter. But you
maybe
actually,
they're actually winning here.
I mean, I would not be surprised at all if this is a win. Um, I don't see it. Yeah, okay,
No,
this is not a win. Um, but take a couple
but I mean
provinces
they
here.
still have 8 villagers. So
They have 8 villagers.
they
You can
still have
take
eight
some
villagers. So
provinces, some
good.
seers.
Yeah,
They're in a very good position for sure.
yeah. But duchies, I don't know. So I guess PQR is counting how much he can do this turn, how much he wants to do next turn regarding those villagers that are running out.
Yep. So I think as PQR you can fire off here and take a bunch of green cards and some seers.
Seems fine.
Inventor for another province.
Actually get
And then
4
take another
provinces
2
here.
provinces. Yep. So that feels pretty winning. I don't think Searingspear's deck is going to be able to beat that.
Not really. Especially not if they draw
Not
like
with
that.
this draw. So for PQR in their next turn, they should again play the Inventor before the Seer. Okay, but we just have a resign.
Yeah, so clear second player advantage so far.
Oh yeah.
everyone won as player 2s.
So
But I
maybe
mean,
maybe the
these draws
second player
really,
advantage in Dualset is that you get to pick the second of the sets, right? So
yeah,
you have a little more control over what kind of game it's gonna be.
yeah. But I mean, still anything can happen, right?
Oh
So.
yeah, I'm totally full of shit. Uh, but it's an interesting idea that somehow picking the second set might give you an advantage because you have a little more control over which kind of game it is, because you see all the first set already. Now you get to complement it with something, kind of steer the board in a certain direction.
I was trying to always be first player when I was choosing Renaissance, Menagerie, and Empires, just because of the crazy stuff that is happening on Menagerie and Renaissance boards, and regarding Empires for donate. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I remember
ooh,
in the
alchemy.
yeah, this is a pretty wild board here. And yeah, we got Peace Stone. Woo! Look, we
Ooh.
have.
That's a card I always hide in my brain.
I don't
It's
even
never
know.
on the
I don't
board
notice
unless
it
someone
either.
mentions it.
I just read right over it. Like, if you asked me for my read of this board, I definitely wouldn't have told you Peace Stone was on it. Um, but we do have all 3 of the 3 potion cost cards here.
We have three P.
Yep.
Uh,
And of course, we got Burbs and Peasant, which is, pretty good card I hear. So I think we also have no trashing. So Familiar's looking decent.
yeah, I think you definitely go for familiars. Um, I guess peasant.
Peasant
No,
Potion is such a
Real
sad.
Oak. Yeah, that's not really good.
It's so unlikely.
I
I
would,
mean, it's not that unlikely, but it's pretty unlikely to hit familiar. I wonder if you delay the potion to your second shuffle and you open just Peasant Magpie.
that's a good point. Or you delay the peasant for the second shuffle and you go like deer potion or dungeon potion.
Yeah. Dungeon Potion, I think, should have a really good chance of lining up.
Yeah, alchemy. I think I only played a single alchemy game in this whole tournament.
I played a great alchemy game against Lemon Spawn where uh, it was possession tournament. It was just absolute madness.
Oh, you had possession not on ban list. I think
We
Lemon
both
Spawn.
when one of us picked alchemy, we were like both like let's get possession, and it happened, and we were both like yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I think Lemon Spawn wiped his ban list for this tournament, which is actually in the spirit of it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to have everyone remove the cards from their ban list, so
Well, there's certain sets I really wouldn't want to play with without ban lists. Like, I don't know, Dark Ages. I don't want to play with Cultist and Urchin. Like, why are you making me do this? Okay, so it looks like Searingspear is going with the idea of picking up Potion in the second shuffle.
yeah, they both went for the line you proposed with Peasant and Magpie.
Yeah, I like that. If I grab an Artificer here as PQR.
Yeah, PQR is not having a potion. It's already an Artificer in their deck. So
You can like Artifice here for a potion or something.
yeah, that's what I would do as well.
Yeah, Cave, this is Dualset.
Don't know if you're in the
Good
not
point. I
in the
have
voice
no
chat.
idea if they're listening. Okay, buys Pilgrimage. So Pilgrimage is in general better with potion cost cards because it makes it easier to pick up copies of them for whenever there's a way to get a potion cost card. Yes, they do Artifice for the potion. I like that.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for, right?
Yeah. And then Dungeon makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, and they are going to see themselves a familiar here.
Yeah. First blood or
He's
first curse is going to be Chet, so yeah. We want to see P Stone.
P Stone, P Stone. Just
I
think,
don't think
man,
it's
your opponent's going to give you all these curses. There's no trashing. That P Stone might even be worth like 3. Maybe
yeah.
even 4? Like, how can you beat that value?
I guess last time I bought P Stone was in 2016.
I cannot recall the last time I bought P Stone. I did gain one with a Tragic Hero recently, and it ended up only being worth 2. It's like, it's probably worth more than, or at least a gold. Maybe it'll end up being worth more, and it's kind of fun, and it was worth 2. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I had it. I had it at 4, I think.
Okay, so some nice gain and play of a peasant there.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to be hunting down magpies a little bit more aggressively because, um, if you are able to get like 7 magpies or something, you can then just like throw a card token on there and Disciple Familiar. That is nice.
Ooh, that's nice draw. Well, at least it's nice for one who plays.
Yeah. Oof. That hurts. Interesting. I wonder what are they possibly artificing for here. I guess you
I would
could.
maybe a gear because they still have actions.
Um, Well, I can't draw it though.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
dungeon makes
just
a lot of
done.
sense. That's what I thought they were
Yeah.
going for when they discarded 3, but they seem to be
Yeah.
rethinking that. Okay, they like magpie instead. Again, I do like the idea of getting just a ton of magpies here. And this is going to be a slow game, so there's definitely time for teacher.
Yeah. I think the next potion card being bought should be Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that
Yeah,
makes
plus
sense for
card
both
on
players.
magpie, then train them, and those birds can do everything you need.
I mean, if you're not getting Alchemist here, you want one next shuffle, I suppose. Um,
Yeah, I think you want to keep Disciple around for a while. The only time I'm willing to take a teacher is if I can make sure I still have Disciples in my deck. Yeah, the game
yeah,
might be
that's
too
usually the
fast for
case.
teacher. I mean, could pile. Magpies and curses are going to run pretty quickly. Not
Yeah,
sure what the third pile
yeah.
will
There's
be.
no rethird pile, but
Disciple can make a third pile disappear. And Pilgrimage, too. Those are both strong gainers.
yeah, there's an Alchemist. That's what I wanted to see. Don't really have a feeling if one of the players is in a leading position here. They both look very much even from
Yep,
my
they're
point of
even on
view.
curses. Um, they're about even in Traveler progression. Keep trying, Foley. You'll get the name soon. That's fair.
Are you typing on mobile?
Okay, so a
I
little
mean,
bit of a gamble there with not discipling the fugitive, but it does obviously pay off when you find that magpie.
yeah, I mean, it could be the last game that we are seeing tonight or this afternoon, however you can say it, depending on where you are. Um, because it's actually match point for PQR already,
Yep.
since we're only playing two and a half. But I mean, Searingspear is second player, so they have to win, right?
The prophecy must be true.
I'm really interested what the players are doing once the curses are gone and the magpies.
Well, I want to get enough magpies that I can start throwing some tokens on them and turn them into super birds.
Yeah. I wonder if training does anything for you even before you go for a teacher.
Yeah, I think you'd like to train the magpies first. Or you'd like to um, put a teacher token on first so that you can still train them. So of course, if you train them first, then you can't throw a teacher token on there.
Yeah. Finally, the last magpie. And we have another discipled familiar here. Ooh, that's a lot of curses.
That is a lot of curses.
Well, I would say bye bye lead. And we have a teacher for Searingspear. Yeah, that's always the problem, right? When you have these games, um, by the time you have teacher, the game is almost over, and you have to choose if you really want to go for it still, if it's still worth it, if you even have time to find a teacher and then have another turn to actually put the token somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, certainly the meta right now is very anti teacher. We just like to take disciples and stop.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, disciples obviously the best card in the teacher line.
yeah. So yeah, that's also why I'm not sure that I would have gone for the teacher there.
Yeah, I think you need to grab yourself a vineyard
Yeah,
for sure.
and always the first in the
Vineyard and
deck.
then maybe train a magpie or something.
Yeah, sounds good. And
I mean,
I
you might want to train something else depending on um, what you actually have the most of.
I could also be familiar maybe, but yeah, I don't. I think they only have two. Just training magpies makes most sense, I guess, and then probably buy another potion, I guess. Or alchemist, actually.
Well, yeah, because you can top deck them. I get
Okay,
that.
yeah, okay, that makes then that's another reason to have a second potion. Maybe you can need an artificer for it.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can just play one alchemist, and then you have enough cards to put a potion on top. Then you draw the next potion. That seems fine. If you're lucky, you find disciple to copy the alchemist once more.
So they do hit pilgrimage, so they can copy some stuff. But I mean, it's getting pretty late in the game now. Piles are very low.
I don't really like the familiar. I think you really want another potion for Searingspear as well.
Hmm.
The familiar is just a cantrip. I mean,
The
I mean,
other
they have the
problem is
teacher, but if
if they
if
line
there's
up
only three
disciple
familiars
and
left,
yeah, they line up disciple and familiar, they could just make those disappear.
yeah, and yeah,
So here, I think you artifice for a potion and then
yeah,
draw it.
and then buy like dungeon or something.
Vineyard. I don't know, dungeon.
Yeah, dungeon seems good. Yeah, I don't get that familiar for Searingspear at all. I can't really lower here with that position. Yeah, maybe they didn't see that this is the third pile.
Well, they get their teacher down,
Yes.
but I mean, are they even going to get another turn?
So I think you need to do the potion top deck thing. Ooh, why don't you?
I
Okay, they
guess
chose
they
to
want to
disciple.
disciple the artificer.
Yeah, okay.
Um, a little harder to pile out.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they can easily artifice for a peasant and draw it if they need plus buy.
Hmm. I think I would surely have discipled the alchemist there because you already have the familiar so low.
Mm.
I don't know that it makes sense to play around that.
Yeah, wow, they artificed
Oh, they
through their
discard the
teacher. They,
teacher
they didn't play it.
potion.
Um,
Well,
I mean,
that's weird.
that was their last ditch thing was that, you know, if they get another turn, some big teacher card, plus card on something might have given them enough fuel to get some points and pile out or
Mm,
something. But this looks very over.
yeah.
Okay, disciple familiar here. And then let's see, I don't what you can't straight.
Yeah, they still need a plus.
Yeah, you need to artifice for.
Yeah, they would need plus buy
Oh,
and
interesting. I guess dungeons are just as easy or easier to pile out. Here you
yeah,
can just
that's true.
artifice for. Yeah, there's just wind. You just artifice for the dungeons.
Hmm.
No, don't you want to disciple that artificer?
Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, you have enough money already. Doesn't matter at all. Just buy the dungeon. All right.
Three three coins is not that hard to get.
Nope, it is not. Especially when you're playing things that are basically peddlers that also do other stuff. Well,
Yeah.
congrats to PQR.
Yep.
I did not intend. Wow, 27 action cards. That is those are some serious vineyards.
Hmm.
Um, so this
Yeah.
was
So
fun. I did not intend to commentate this, but I'm glad I did. And
thanks for thanks for joining.
yep, I will post the recording now. Thanks for
Yeah, please.
listening, everyone.
Yeah, we will be excited about the final when PQR is facing Lemon Spawn.
Ooh, that'll be a good one.
Okay.
All right, see ya.
Bye bye.